Welcome back, deep divers. Today we're going deep, really deep into some spiritual teachings
Ooh.
from an organization called, have you heard of Brahma Kumaris?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So we've got this text. It's dated February 12th, 2025.
Okay.
So it's like we're getting a glimpse into the future of thought.
Wow.
A little sneak peek,
Like
right?
that kid.
Get ready for some serious aha moments, folks.
I think you're going to find this one really interesting. The way they frame history is, well, it's not like our typical linear progression. It's more of a cyclical process. They call it the cycle of time.
Cycle of time.
Okay.
That's not usually how we think about history.
Right. It's pretty cosmic.
Cosmic, okay. Yeah.
So think of it like a giant clock face,
Okay.
but not with hours, but with different ages. Like at the top, let's say 12 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
That's the golden age.
Uh,
The golden age. Pure, peaceful, happy. It's like paradise on earth.
Okay, so I'm picturing this golden age up at the top. 12 o'clock, the golden age. So what happens next? Time doesn't just stop there.
No, this clock keeps ticking. So the hand moves, let's say it goes to 3 o'clock,
Okay.
and things start to change. Humanity gradually descends into a less ideal state. You know, their innocence kind of starts to fade and complexities arise.
Yeah.
And then by the time we get down to 6 o'clock, we're pretty far from that paradise, that golden age paradise.
Right.
And then we hit the bottom, 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
They describe it as a jungle of suffering.
Okay. Wow. Paradise to a jungle. So from the top to the bottom, it sounds kind of bleak, like a downward spiral.
Yeah.
So where are we on this cosmic clock right now?
Well, according to this teaching, we are actually at the very bottom
Right now.
right now in 2025.
So even though it's 2025, we're at the lowest point.
Wow, that's intense. It is, but there is another twist to this cycle. Even though we're in the thick of this jungle, it's also the time of Sangam, the confluence. It's where the old cycle ends and a new one begins.
So like a seed of renewal, a new beginning. Okay, I'm starting to see why this is more than just a history lesson. So what does Brahma Kumaris say about how we can navigate this transition?
Well, they present these teachings as knowledge gems offered by a spiritual, like a jeweler. The speaker of this text refers to themselves as that.
Knowledge gem.
Knowledge gems.
I like that.
Yeah.
Makes them sound precious and valuable.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are some of these gems that can help us on this journey?
Well, one of the most important is the concept of satsang.
Satsang.
Yeah. Literally, it translates to good company.
Okay.
And it stresses the importance of who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, makes sense. The people you spend time with really do influence, your thoughts and your actions.
Exactly. And they use this really great analogy. They say, just like water can be sweet or salty, depending on its source, the people we surround ourselves with influence our spiritual growth.
That's a really good analogy. It's pretty clear how, spending time with negative people can bring you down. But how does good company actually help with spiritual growth?
Well, it can uplift you, inspire you. Just being around people who are positive and kind and spiritually inclined can help you elevate your own consciousness. It's like their energy rubs off on you. It helps you grow.
So it's not just about avoiding negative influences, but actively seeking out, like those who can support our spiritual journey. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And they even go further. They say some become diamond-like with good company, while others become like broken pieces, emphasizing how powerful that impact can be.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so satsang, pretty important gem for anyone navigating that jungle and looking ahead to that new beginning.
Definitely. It's one of the foundational teachings, and its wisdom really applies to everyone, regardless of their, specific beliefs.
Okay, so back to that cosmic clock for a sec. We're currently, stuck down here at 9 o'clock. How do we even start moving back upwards toward that golden age at 12 o'clock?
Well, that's where the idea of the Supreme Soul comes in.
Okay.
In these teachings, they refer to the Supreme Soul as Shiv Baba, the Father of Souls.
Shiv Baba. That sounds like, is that a Hindu thing?
It might sound familiar,
Yeah.
but the way Brahma Kumaris presents it is a bit different. They're not talking about a traditional deity, but a universal force of consciousness.
Okay.
The source of all souls,
Oh.
who comes to uplift humanity at the lowest point of the cycle.
So more of a universal principle than a figure specific to any one religion.
Exactly. They emphasize that Shiv Baba is beyond any particular religion or form.
Okay.
This Supreme Soul comes to teach us the path back to the Golden Age,
Got it.
to help us move from the darkness at 9 o'clock back towards that light at 12 o'clock.
So this Supreme Soul is like our guide on this cosmic journey.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. I'm intrigued. So what does Shiv Baba teach? How can we connect with this universal force?
Well, one of the most interesting teachings is about the soul's journey through this cycle of time.
Okay.
According to Brahma Kumaris, each soul goes through 84 rebirths.
Whoa!
84!
Experiencing the highs and lows, the full spectrum of human existence.
84 rebirths, that's a lot of time on this cosmic cloud. Does that mean we're just destined to keep going around and around like forever?
Not necessarily. These teachings offer a way out. The ultimate goal is to break free from the cycle altogether
Okay.
and achieve liberation, a state of complete peace and bliss that exists beyond the clock face.
So there's a way to get off the clock, so to speak.
Precisely. And understanding the cycle, knowing where we are within it, is a crucial step towards that liberation.
Okay.
It helps us see the bigger picture.
Right.
And gives us that roadmap for our journey.
Okay, yeah. I'm getting some aha moments here. It's a lot to take in, but I see how the pieces are fitting together. It's definitely a different way of looking at things. And remember, we're only just scratching the surface. There are many more knowledge gems to discover in these teachings.
Well, let's keep digging. What other treasures await us in this philosophical treasure chest? So we've talked about the cycle of time, satsang, and the supreme soul. What other gems can we unearth from these Brahma Kumaris teachings?
Let's dive into their perspective on something you might recognize, the Hindu Trinity,
Okay.
Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. Have you heard of them?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sounds like they're taking those familiar figures and giving them a whole new interpretation.
They are. Brahma Kumaris explains that these aren't gods, not in the traditional sense. Instead, they represent roles within the cycle of time, all created by that supreme soul, Shiv Baba.
So instead of being like, separate deities, they're part of this larger cosmic system, like actors in a play.
Exactly. Think of it as a divine drama unfolding on the stage of time. The Brahma represents creation, bringing the world into being at the start of the cycle.
Right.
Vishnu represents sustenance, maintaining the world during its various phases.
Got it.
And then Shankar represents transformation or destruction, the force that dissolves the old to make way for the new.
That's fascinating. It's like they're taking traditional Hindu mythology and reframing it within this cyclical view of history.
Right. And this reframing, it goes even deeper. They emphasize that Brahma, the creator, is distinct from that supreme soul.
Okay.
They even say he is the creator in the limited sense, while this one is the unlimited father.
So even Brahma, who creates the world, is still bound by that cycle of time, while the supreme soul is beyond those limitations.
Exactly. It highlights the supreme soul's, ultimate authority and power. Shiv Baba is the source of everything, including the cycle itself and the roles within it.
This is really making me rethink a lot of what I thought I knew.
Yeah.
What about karma? Brahma Kumaris definitely talks about karma, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does that fit into this whole cosmic picture?
Well, karma is another key concept, and they emphasize it, its importance as a universal law.
Right.
Every action has a consequence, and those consequences play out within that cycle of time.
Okay.
They even mention Dharma Raja, the deity of justice, as another player in this cosmic drama.
So it's not so much about like being punished for bad deeds, but understanding the cause and effect of our actions.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that our choices have, ripples, and those ripples affect not only our present life, but also our future rebirths as we journey through those 84 cycles.
Okay, that definitely resonates with the idea of personal responsibility. It's like we're all actors in this play.
Yeah.
But we also have the power to, write our own lines, so to speak.
Yes. And that leads us to another intriguing concept that Brahma Kumaris introduces, the divine drama. They suggest that everything that happens, including our spiritual experiences, is part of a larger preordained plan.
Wait, so are they saying that everything is predetermined, that we have no free will?
It's more nuanced than that. They acknowledge that we have choices to make, that we can choose how we respond to situations.
Right.
But ultimately, we're all playing our roles within this grand cosmic drama orchestrated by the Supreme Soul.
Okay, I see. It's like we have a script,
Mm-hmm.
but we can choose how we deliver our lines. That's a really interesting way to think about fate and free will. So if this supreme soul is beyond form and limitations, how does Shiv Baba actually interact with the material world? How can something so vast connect with us down here in the jungle?
That's where Brahma, as the creator, comes in. Brahma Kumaris explains that to interact with the material world, the Supreme Soul needs a physical body. They say, to come into the impure world, I have to enter an impure body.
Oh.
So to speak. So the Supreme Soul uses Brahma as a vessel to communicate with humanity. Yeah, you could say that. Think of it like a divine instrument,
Right.
Brahma becomes a medium through which the Supreme Soul's teachings and wisdom can reach the world.
That's a pretty unique perspective.
Yeah.
So how does Brahma Kumaris view the individual who embodies this role? Do they Do they see him as like a traditional religious figure?
Actually, they use a specific term to describe him, Raj Rishi.
Raj Rishi. What does that mean?
It translates to ruler sage, a king who possesses both spiritual wisdom and worldly authority. It challenges the typical image of a renunciate
Okay,
or fakir who withdraws from the world.
right. So instead of renouncing the world, the Raj Rishi embodies a balance between the material and the spiritual.
Exactly. They state, you are becoming Raj Rishis, not fakirs. It suggests that true spiritual growth doesn't require us to escape from the world, but to transform it from within.
That's a powerful idea. So we're not just waiting for the cosmic clock to bring us back to that golden age, but we can actively work to create a better world right now.
Precisely. It's about integrating spiritual principles into our everyday lives, taking action, and becoming leaders who embody both wisdom and compassion.
This deep dive is really giving me a whole new perspective. It's like I'm seeing the world and even traditional Hindu concepts through a completely different lens.
Hmm.
What other insights await us in these Brahma Kumaris teachings? Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. The cycle of time, satsang, the supreme soul, this fascinating interpretation of the Hindu Trinity, and even the concept of a Raj Rishi. Is there anything else we should know about how Brahma Kumaris approaches spiritual growth?
One thing they really emphasize is that these teachings aren't meant to be just, theoretical knowledge. It's not about memorizing concepts, but about applying them in your life.
Right, it's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. They compare this knowledge to becoming spiritually wealthy, like becoming sahukars. It's about investing in your spiritual growth and reaping the benefits in your daily life.
I love that analogy. It implies like abundance, not just material wealth,
Yeah.
but abundance of inner peace and fulfillment. So what would you say is the most important takeaway for someone who's really intrigued by these Brahma Kumaris teachings?
I think the key is to remember that this is a journey, not a destination. It's not about, instantly becoming perfect or achieving some final state of enlightenment. It's about making, small, consistent efforts to align your thoughts and actions with these principles.
So progress, not perfection. That's a good reminder for any spiritual path, really. And it's about remembering that we're not alone on this journey, right? The Supreme Soul, Shiv Baba, is there to guide and support us.
Absolutely. They stress the importance of remembering the Supreme Soul, what they call remembering Alpha. It's about connecting with that source of love and wisdom that exists within each of us, tapping into that divine energy.
It's interesting because they seem to contrast this interconnection with traditional religious practices.
Hmm.
I notice lines in the text like, this is not about doing namaste or puja.
Right. It seems they're emphasizing a more internal, experiential approach to spirituality. It's not about rituals or dogma, but about a direct personal connection with the divine.
It's about finding that connection within yourself. And then, as we learned earlier, surrounding yourself with good company to support that growth.
Yes, and sharing that knowledge with others, becoming a source of light and guidance. They even compare those who can teach this knowledge to expert jewelers. They say good jewelers are sent to big centers.
I like that. It's about recognizing the value of these teachings and becoming those expert jewelers who can share these knowledge gems with others, helping them on their own journeys.
Exactly. It's about becoming beacons of light, illuminating the path for others as we navigate this cosmic cycle together.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of these concepts, and I'm left with a lot to contemplate.
Me too. It's a great reminder that there's always more to learn and explore, especially when it comes to spirituality and these age-old questions about life and death and our place in the universe.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our exploration of these fascinating Brahma Kumaris teachings, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. If you could go back to the beginning of this cosmic cycle, knowing what you know now, would you make different choices?
That's a powerful question. It really encourages us to reflect on our own journeys and think about how we can align our actions with our highest aspirations.
Maybe we can't go back in time, but we can certainly use this knowledge to shape our present and our future. And for those of you who are curious to learn more, we encourage you to explore Brahma Kumaris and their teachings. You never know what other knowledge gems you might unearth.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the vast ocean of knowledge that surrounds us.
And we'll be here to guide you on those deep dives, uncovering more fascinating insights and thought-provoking ideas. See you on our next adventure.